The dog stopped eating 3 days before the test came back. Wendell Carrasquillo was 48 years old and had not been sick a day in 20 years. He coached high school basketball. He ran 4 miles every morning before practice. He had a body he had taken pride in for as long as he could remember, and a relationship with his own health that mostly involved not thinking about it. His dog was a 5-year-old yellow Labrador named Joaquin, 80 pounds, the kind of lab who ate anything you put in front of him in under 40 seconds and then looked at you like you might have forgotten the second bowl. On a Tuesday in March, Joaquin did not eat his breakfast. Wendell noticed it because there was no way not to. The bowl sat full at 9 a.m. It sat full at noon. It sat full at 3. Wendell asked his wife Tomasa if she had given the dog something. She had not. Wednesday morning, Joaquin stood by his bowl and looked at it and looked at Wendell and lay down on the kitchen floor with his nose against Wendell's left thigh and stayed there. He did not eat that day either. Thursday, Wendell took him to the vet. The vet did blood work and a temperature check and a basic exam and said the dog looked fine. The vet asked if anything had changed at home. Wendell said no. Joaquin would not leave Wendell alone the rest of the week. He pressed against Wendell's left thigh on the couch. He stood between Wendell and the bathroom door. He licked Wendell's left thigh through his jeans, twice on a Saturday morning. Wendell laughed at him and pushed him away and then laughed at himself for pushing him away. Tomasa said, "He's trying to tell you something." Wendell said, "He's a dog. He's confused. He's getting old." On Sunday night, he was getting out of the shower, and he looked down and saw a small lump on the upper left thigh. He had not noticed it before. He pressed it. It was firm and painless. He put his hand over it for a long moment, and then he got dressed and went downstairs and made his dinner. Joaquin sat at his feet through dinner and did not eat from his own bowl. Wendell scheduled a dermatology appointment for the following Friday. By Wednesday, Joaquin had not eaten in 9 days. He was thin. He drank water. He licked Wendell's left thigh once a day, slow, deliberate, the way a dog licks a wound that is not theirs. The dermatologist was a woman named Dr. Helene Tippett. She looked at the lump. She measured it. She said the word excisional, and then she said the words, "I'd like to get this out today." The biopsy was sent for pathology the same afternoon. The call came on a Tuesday. If you stay for stories about what animals notice before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Dr. Tippett said it's melanoma, plaque level 3. We caught it early. I'd like to do a wider excision next week and a sentinel node biopsy. Wendell did not say anything. Mr. Carrasquillo, this is good news, given the situation. Most melanomas at this depth don't get found at this stage. People bring them in when they're 3 or 4 millimeters thick. Yours is 1.5. What made you come in? He told her about the dog. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I will tell you the same thing I tell every patient who has a dog who fixated on a part of their body. There is real published research on canine olfactory cancer detection. The compounds melanoma cells release are volatile. They escape through the skin. Dogs detect them at thresholds we cannot measure in a lab. Your dog smelled this before any of us could see it. Has your animal ever done something you couldn't explain until it was the only thing that did? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. The wider excision the next week came back with clear margins. The sentinel node biopsy was negative. The oncologist used the word cured cautiously, and the word lucky less cautiously, and the word vigilance the most. Wendell drove home in the rain on a Tuesday afternoon. He walked in the front door. Joaquin was lying on the kitchen floor where his bowl was. The bowl was empty. Tomasa said, "He started eating again this morning. I don't know why." Wendell sat down on the kitchen floor. Joaquin walked over slowly on his thin legs. He pressed his head against the upper left thigh of Wendell's jeans, the spot where the scar was now, still bandaged. He held it there. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who refused to eat until you took them seriously. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Wendell put his hand on the back of the dog's head. He did not say anything because he did not yet know the right thing to say. The lab exhaled slow and lay down with his chin across Wendell's knee. He ate 2 bowls of food that night and slept on the kitchen floor beside the cabinet where his bowl lived, the way he had not done since he was a puppy. Tomorrow there's another one, about a Doberman who refused to let a new mother carry her baby down a flight of stairs.